to Alan's Awesome Keto World. Today we're going to probably go to one of my favorite dishes to make for snacks and in between. I'm a snacker, just always have been. So this is my go-to snack. So we're going to make some awesome chocolate chip cookies today. So we're going to go through that. Everything you see in this video today, if you want to make them, I'll put in the links down below. Help yourself to go down and order it and try them and see what you think. I will be posting the recipe as well. I have started a web page. The web page is not quite up and ready yet. I will be putting the link in there for the web page once it's up. So hopefully by the time you see this video, you'll see this. I am the type of person that needs to have some kind of a recipe to follow. So this is my recipe that I'm going to follow. They actually come out really good. I probably make these once every couple of weeks. Like I say, I make them, I put them on a counter, and then when I get something that I need a snack or something, when I get home from work, I'll grab one of them and I'll eat one of them. We'll go through some of the micros and nutrition stuff when we break it down while they're in the oven maybe. So I'm going to start off, and so first of all, just what you need. So you're going to need 2 bowls, one for the dry ingredients, one for the wet ingredients. You are going to need some baking powder, almond flour, some beef gelatin. This kind of holds it all together. Some sweetener, some substitute sweetener. So this is monk fruit with erythritol, so that's what I use. I use a lot of erythritol too. Generally I use erythritol. I thought I'd try this last time. And then cooking pans, of course an egg, some butter, and some chocolate chips to mix in before we bake them. With that, I'm going to get going. We're going to preheat the oven to 350. So we'll get that going, and then we're going to start mixing our dry ingredients, right? So we're going to mix the almond flour. So almond flour, we're going to use 1.5 cups. I use a 1/2 cup thing because everything's in 1/2 cups, it seems like. So rather than dirtying extra measuring cups, I just use this. So I put in 3 of these. So 3 cups of almond flour, and I'm going to set this out of the way a little bit. Next, I'm going to mix in the beef gelatin. So this we're going to use in 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of this. Again, this is the kind of the binder that kind of binds it all together to make the cookies stick together. And then next, we're going to mix in the erythritol, the sugar. See if I can get it open. So 1/2 cup of this. So 1/2 cup of that. And then, of course, last but not least is the baking powder. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of this. So that's all the dry ingredients. Then I take the dry ingredients and I mix them up a little bit. So the dry ingredients are all mixed. So next I'm going to take and I'm going to do all of the wet ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to mix together is the butter. So I use Kerrygold's butter just because it is grass-fed cattle, so the butter is a better quality. It's actually an Irish butter, right? So I'm not sure if you can see that. But you could use just anything unsalted, preferably, butter. So this is just a really good butter, really good quality butter. It's kind of the old adage, you know, what you put into an animal is what you get out of an animal. You feed them trash, you're you're going to get trash out of them. So because it's the animals are treated well, they're fed natural foods, the butter is much higher quality. So I put it in a bowl. Now we do have to melt this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 20 seconds to melt it. So while that's melting, the next ingredients that will go in will be the vanilla and the egg as well. So you can see that it's not quite all melted, so I'll pop it in there for another 20 seconds. You want to be really careful when you're doing it not to overcook it. If you overcook it and put the egg in it, the egg will start to cook right away. So you'll kind of want to put it in, mix it around, let it cool a little bit before you put the egg in. So. All right, so you can see, or maybe you can't, I'm not sure, but you can see that the butter is all melted in here. So now that the butter is melted, we will actually go in and put in a little bit of the vanilla extract. We're going to put in a teaspoon of this. So that's the vanilla extract. Let's see, what else are we putting in here? And then we're going to put the egg in here. And then we're going to mix it all together. All right, so now we're going to mix the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients. So it's best to do this in 2 parts and then kind of fold it in or mix it in. So I'm going to pour some of it in. I'll start mixing it together. So once you get them all mixed together really well, the next thing that I would do with this is that I would start getting the chocolate chips out. And I use Lily's chocolate chips. These are dark chocolate chip for baking. They're no sugar added. I will tell you the ingredients on these is unsweetened cocoa, erythritol, insulin, organic soy, and sunflower, let's see, vanilla extract and stevia extract. So So they're pretty clean. They're not perfect, but they're pretty clean. They're about the cleanest ones that you can find out there for chocolate chips. So I would suggest that if you're gonna use these are the ones that I use. So I just pour these around in there, and I'll mix them all in. This is about a half a cup. This was I know I used half of them last time, so I know there's about a half a cup in here. So once you get these pretty well mixed together, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put them on the cookie sheet. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. I just take a spoon and spoon them on there. Easy, quick, and dirty, I guess. So I know some people use cookie dough scoopers and all that stuff. So, but I'm not that fancy. So one of the things you're going to do is you're going to take a cookie sheet like this. And I'm going to pull this over a little bit, make sure you can see it. Then I take some parchment paper. Parchment paper is great because that way they don't stick to the pan, and it saves me a lot of dishes and stuff like that. So I get the right size, put the parchment paper down, and then I'm going to just take a little cookie thing here. So I take a spoon. This is all I do. Then I just spoon a little bit. My hands are clean. I washed them before I started doing this. Yeah, depending on how big you want your cookies. I don't make mine too big. I'll tell you, a lot of times when I make these, I make double batches so that they'll last me a lot longer. So that way I don't have to make them again next weekend. They'll last me a couple of weeks. So. So that's all there is to it. So now I'm going to take those, I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes on mine. Depends, you can cook them a little less time if you like them a little softer so they're a little more chewy. So, but I like them, you know, kind of in between. I don't like them too soft, but I don't like them too crunchy either. So I put them in for about 20 minutes. So now they're in the oven. Again, I will say, I'm a person that has to follow along on a recipe. I've started kind of a recipe book that I've gotten off the web. A bunch of other folks, a bunch of different recipes off Pinsters and everywhere else. So I've created a book. You can see my book's getting kind of full. So I'm actually thinking I need to go to a thicker binder book because this one's getting too full. Hey, if you like this recipe and you think that it's pretty easy to do and that you can do it, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the thumbs up if you try it and you think you're good. Let me know what you think about doing the next video. If there's a particular food that you would like to see cooked. So I'm open to just about anything. I have a lot of recipes for a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to pause it here, and then we're going to wait for the oven to get done, and in 20 minutes we'll come back and we'll see what the cookies look like. No. Hey, welcome back everybody. It's time to take them out of the oven. Need some oven mitts. I am gonna pull them out of the oven, set them on top of the stove, let them start cooling a little bit. All right, and then I'll bring you over and we'll kind of take a look at them. So I'm going to leave them here, let them sit for a few minutes. I did want to mention to you, so let's kind of review a little bit. So these cookies are about 130 calories per cookie. There's 5 carbs per cookie. There's about 3 grams of protein per cookie, about 12.5 grams of fat per cookie. There's about 3.3 grams of fiber per cookie. So each cookie is 1.7 grams of net carbs. So it's good. I mean, you come home, you have 1 or 2, it gives you 3.4 carbs per day if you have that left in your diet. And they're really a good snack to have. It really is, they're very filling. And that's all you really need. You don't need much more than that. So that's kind of where we are there. Again, I'm going to ask to do me a favor. Put down in the comments below what you'd like to see in the next videos. I make an awesome strawberry fat bomb that's quick and easy. There's a lot of other things I make. We made a awesome strawberry cheesecake tart for Christmas, my wife and I. So that's really good. Main meals. Whatever you would like to see, let me know. Comment on the links below, and we'll put it in the mix. Also, if you'd like to see information about nutrition, vitamins, supplements that we take, I was going to say as we talk about that subject, just a point at the end here, talk about collagen again. I'm a big fan of collagen. I take it every morning. I put it in my coffee every morning. I will say that you can put it in your cookies, you can put it in whatever you want to make, and not the greatest for baking. It's better to kind of mix in with other things, but it is good for you, right? So your body has its skin is made of collagen. So as you get older, you lose that elasticity in your skin. This will help some of that, prevent some of that. It will allow you to look younger, feel better. Also, joint pain, as well as between every bone in our body, there's a layer of collagen that's built in there so that it doesn't pound so much on the other one. So again, it helps alleviate some pain in your muscles and joints, as well as even bone loss, because there's collagen in your bones, so it helps retain that muscle. So as you get older, generally people lose some of their bone mass. This will help prevent some of that as well. So I just kind of want to reiterate, it's a good thing to get. I'll include that if you're interested in the links when I can include all the food below in the comments. So just hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully it was informational. Hopefully it's a quick and easy recipe for you. Again, thumbs up, subscribe so that we can do more of these and you can see more of them. And I'm going to show you what the cookies look like now. So those are what the cookies look like right now. I will tell you that we wait about 20 minutes for them, half hour to cool off, and then they're good to eat. So So hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully you're having an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.